What's up, guys? Welcome back to Fish and Hex. This is Travis here. Today we're going to be doing another subscriber request video. You guys wanted an update on the tangs since I've added them to the reef tank. It's just been a little bit under a month, and I just want to give you a quick update on how they're doing, aggression-wise, eating, and some future plans for new fish, not only for this tank, but for the display refugium and the frag system, so we'll cover all that here in this video. Now, as for aggression, everyone thought, or at least I thought, that the yellow tang would have been the huge problem of the majority of the fish, because he did beat up the nasal tang, killed him actually in the frag system. So I always thought, when I put him in here, he would be a problem, but he wasn't. When I first put him in here, he did get beat up by the blue hippo tang for the first 12 hours or so, and then after that he settled down. He doesn't even go for food first anymore. He usually waits till everybody else eats, and then he kind of picks off what's sitting there. But he is not aggressive at all, which is, I did not expect that, to be honest. The only fish that really shows any aggression out of all of them is the powder brown tang. He's in the far left right now. He's kind of circling around the power head, but he attacks himself and his reflection all day long, except for when it's time to eat. And I don't know why he does that. In my entire fish keeping history, I've only had one other fish that did that, and it was another tang. But he just kind of attacks his reflection all day, and when he gets bored, he tries to attack the nasal tang or spike the rabbit fish. And then he gets his butt kicked, and then he goes back into his corner and keeps doing what he's doing. It is what it is. I just let him do his own thing. Now, as for feeding for this, I do feed nori twice a day to kind of spread out that aggression that they get, because they're hungry. Basically, because there is no algae in this tank, except for there's a little bit on the power heads that they pick off of when they settle down right before the surge modes. But they pretty much eat the nori in the morning when the lights first come on. Then I do another half a sheet when the blues are just on right before they go off at night. And that kind of makes them happy throughout the day. I'm also feeding LRS food every other day. I'm feeding the snowflake eel, which is just a little over 2 feet now. He is massive. He came out the other day. Literally, you just don't realize how big he is until he's completely out of the rock. Basically, he could pretty much eat any fish in here if he wanted to. It's maybe not the hippo tang, but he could pretty much take out anybody else if he really wanted to. Now, what was I saying? As for feeding wise, I do feed him 3 times a week, the silver sides and his own little food mix that I made him. So they get the scraps of that as well. And, I do feed the coral, and there's cyclopses and stuff, so they might pick at those. But they really don't, they don't get fed a ton of food, but they're all really fat. And there's no, indents in the stomachs. There's no external parasites. There's no, abrasions or cuts or missing fins or anything. Everybody's doing quite well, and I'm really happy with the way things are working out at the moment. Now, as for future plans for fish, I do plan on adding a couple more tanks to the system. Now, I know the tank police might come after me, but frankly, I don't give a fuck what you have to say. It's my tank, and I'll do what I want. Basically, what I'm going to do is I plan on adding at least 2 or 3 more tanks. I haven't quite decided what they are. I know that I'm definitely going to do a clown tang because I love them. I'm having horrible luck getting them through quarantine. But I will be adding at least one of those. I do have plans to add 2 Antheus to this main display, and that's going to be it until the 300 gallons up. Now, as for the display refugium, we're going to be adding the 2 seahorses here in the next 2 months. Plus, I'll be adding a scooter blenny and a mandarin. I wanted to put the scooter blenny back into the main display like I had a guy. His name was Guy. I had him for a couple years. He passed away for whatever reason. But I wanted to put him in the main display, but I have a feeling that Reggie is just too big. He will eat anything that small. I just have a feeling. So, especially because the scooter blenny is really not that fast. He's a pretty easy target. So he's going to go into the display refugium with the mandarin and the seahorses, and they will be all happy in there. Be good to go. Now, as for the frag system, since I only have the cleaner shrimp and a couple of snails in there, I'll be adding a Melanoris wrasse and a tang of some sort. I'm not sure what I'm going to add yet. We'll see. That will be pretty much it for the stocking of the reef tank until we tear it down. And that's coming up in July. It's coming very quickly. I didn't realize that there's really not that many months left, and I'm trying to enjoy this tank as much as possible, trying to get the coral growth to explode so I can make some good money on the frags. I really need to, obviously make enough money for the new build, and we'll see when the time comes. If for some reason, if I don't have enough when we move, we will have a temporary setup of frags and for these fish until we get enough money to build the 300 the way we want to. See how that works out when the time comes. As for future videos, I have a Senai par meter, And I will be doing par readings at different 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, and 100% on the SB reef lights on different levels of the reef tank. And we're going to kind of dial in where I want my lighting to be for the SPS in this tank to get them to grow the best. And I will adjust the lighting accordingly. One might be brighter than the other because the coral's down a little bit. We'll see. We'll see how everything works out and make adjustments. Now, the Sinai, it has mixed reviews. I've been using it for the last week or so, and I mean, it seems pretty good. But I got it off a buddy for really, really cheap, like almost nothing. So I didn't, I got it for really cheap because I didn't want to spend $400 on another par meter and only use it like twice a year. I just couldn't justify the price. So that's why I went with a Sinai. But that whole video series are coming out soon. We're going to do a nutrient video. All sorts of stuff is coming out in the next few weeks to kind of keep you guys up to date and entertained with the system as we go. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. All right, peace.